Hey everybody, this is Skeet,
I am Moshen Mikey.
and normally you see us on Rock and Roll Roundtable, but tonight we're gonna do Moshmen live.
Yeah, we don't do these very often. We've done maybe four or five in the past, but it's Snowmageddon's coming, and
Yeah,
well, throw one on there and see if all the people are already home for the weekend and might want to hang out, talk music, or listen to us talk music, whatever you want to do, and whatever other subjects come up in the fray. We're kind of open on these live streams to every genre, more or less.
yeah,
Music related stuff, not so much having to be actual the songs or the bands, but yeah. So it's Friday night in Ohio. We got nothing else going on, and it's cold. It's nasty out, and preparing for the White Death.
yeah,
And it's
yeah,
unwanted appearance here. A foot plus is what we're getting reports on now, and it's a big ass storm. I think everybody and their brother knows about it. But
yeah,
it's gonna be taking a lot of states with it, so it should be interesting for the next few days. But here we are to talk to you about whatever you want to talk about tonight. Uh, we'll just shoot from the hip and get everybody that wants to be involved in the chat, and we'll have a good time for however long we decide to extend this out. It could be 5 in the morning. Who knows? It's got a limit, I'm sure. So we'll get
yeah,
on it for at least hopefully a couple hours and get a lot of engagement. If not, me and Skeeter will talk a lot to each other about
yeah,
music. It's what we do anyway. So
yeah,
yeah, it's just a change of pace, just a new uh, thing we don't do very often. But hey, it's an impromptu. We didn't plan it, so we understand. We might not get as many as we hope, but hey, if you're here, if you happen to stop by, we appreciate you just checking it out.
yeah,
If it's your thing, I hopefully it's your thing, and you'll come and see some episodes of Rock and Roll Roundtable, which we do every Friday. There was one out tonight. And there'll be one out every Friday. We're in season 3. It's been pretty good, pretty good topics, I think. I think we've had a lot of fun talking about everything and anything music related, especially rock and metal, but not always right on that, but mostly. And
yeah,
so we'll throw some yacht rock at you or something every once in a while. It's just for fun. And yeah, so I'm already talking way too much. So Skeeter, you can chime in on what your thoughts are of the live stream tonight.
Well, it's been a while since I've done a live stream, and so as far as what's going on, I'm checking all the pages, so we're pretty good to go on Rumble, and we're up live on X, and I've got it says episode 4, so
Well, you
yeah,
know, we'll count it as that for whatever reason. But
yeah,
no, I mean I don't know where most of you are. If anybody's out there, I don't know where you're all going to be coming from. But all three platforms are, we're available on all three. So yeah, it's the more the merrier. Jump on in. Don't have to be solely about music. It can be related to music. So don't be shy in the comments if you're just hanging out. We're easy to talk to. Not a problem any way, shape, or form.
yeah.
But there's hey, there we got one. I
There
like
we
that.
go,
Good
Travis.
evening to you. Absolutely. We absolutely love to be here and love to hang out with you. Hopefully you got anything you want to hear about, let us know, and we'll involve you in the conversation for sure because we like engagement. We thrive on that. Actually, it's talking to Skeeter all the time does get a little You know,
Yeah, yeah, it can be.
me talking all the time is probably annoying to a lot of people. So, if you want to chat, go ahead. If you just want to sit and listen to us talk, that's fine too. We're good. But
So, probably the biggest news uh, for today, we did get uh, a little bit of bad news. Francis Buchholz from the Scorpions, the bass player, passed away today at 71.
yeah,
So
still a
that's a
good.
little bit of sad news going on.
It's still a good thing. Oh, it's Jen Ravenheart from X. That's for you, Skeeter. But no, I mean, he had a good life though. You think about that, 71, and you were in a band for all those years. Not only the Scorpions, but Michael Schenker. So you spent the majority of your life getting to play music for a living. I mean, that's
Yeah,
fantastic. And being 71, that's young relatively, but it's still a good life. You had a full life anyway. I just I don't know what he died from. Hopefully it wasn't nothing painful and long and all that
yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
I mean, that's what you gotta hope for. But yeah, early Scorpions music, man, that was some shit too. It was, man, back in Love Drive and all that, even all the way up through Blackout. And I don't know how long he was in the Scorpions per se, but I'm assuming he was a big part. I did see the Scorpions put out that announcement today
okay.
that he had passed. So, oh yeah, yeah. So it is heartbreaking. It's anybody passes away that you've gotten something and a big part of enjoyment from, is a sad day. And we've had too much lately. I'm getting to the age where shit, it's getting a little too close to home for me. A lot of my
Yeah,
heroes are starting to pass, and we've talked about the Aussies and Ace Frehleys and even Sam Rivers. I think I don't know his last name. I don't want to butcher it, but Limp Bizkit. He was only 48 and passed away. So that's kind of more on the depressing side for me. But he gave us all these years of great music. I love the
yeah,
bass lines in Limp Bizkit, man. They were fantastic. So yeah, it's definitely sad. Condolences to the Scorpions family out there. I mean, I know he was your friend, not only your bandmate. So it's like, yeah, it's a tough one, man. It's just death sucks, and it's already starting out in 26. We don't need another year like last year. It was pretty busy last year. So, oh yeah, Blackout and Dynamite too, right? I mean, Ravenheart here's got some. It was mine. I love Dynamite. I love the Blackout album. It was the best one for me. I think Love at First Sting was really good, but man, Blackout with this Arizona. Arizona is probably my favorite. I know it's not as heavy, but I like Dynamite. I love Blackout, all that stuff. But Arizona had something about it. It was just so catchy. But it's one of those things with Scorpions. And on the Scorpions, to be completely honest, I'm struggling a little bit with watching Klaus. I mean, he's up there. He's probably much older than 71. I don't know how old he is, but he's starting to exhibit the signs of struggling, that we've
yeah,
seen with a lot of our heroes are starting to do. Definitely, like David Lee Roth vocals have went way down. You had Don Dawkins vocals going way down. Now Klaus
yeah.
is struggling a little bit. I'll still have all the backlog catalog of the Scorpions to admire, but man, it is rough watching your heroes kind of tail off at at the end there.
So,
But
did you
yeah,
did you ever get to did you ever get to see the Scorpions live?
yes, I did. Way back, Monsters of Rock tour, way back when. And I'm Gen X too. I am true Gen X. I'm a 68er over here. So yeah, I'm a Gen X kid too. And that was my time frame for the Scorpions. But yeah, I think I saw them in 1985. I think it was 85. Van Halen was on that tour, Dokken.
Oh, nice.
I mean, it was the Monsters of Rock. We went to Indiana, I believe, the Hoosier Dome, if that's what it was called at the time. I can't remember, but it was a big deal over there. Skeeter knows. You know, Skeeter. You gotta give him some
Yes,
love there.
yes, I've joined Jen in some of her spaces here on
Absolutely, that's
X.
cool. That's very
So,
cool.
and we've had some interesting conversations.
Ah, hey, can't beat it. And it's all about the love of music, you know. It's for Gen Xers, we've got to stick together at this point with our music. We had a lot of new music I like. You know, I'm a ADHD, of course. I like a lot of different things at a lot of different times, but I'll always go back. It's always the classic rock and hair metal and stuff that will always be, there. This new stuff can come and go a little bit. It gets kind of mundane and monotonous. But man, I could pop when we're talking about Blackout, I could pop that CD or cassette or whatever it is at any given time. It wouldn't matter, and I would still jam on some Scorpions. So yeah, Francis, man, that sucks. But all right, we get off the death subject a
Yeah,
little bit.
sorry to be morbid. I wanted to get the bad
Yeah,
news
yeah,
out of the way.
right.
So
Eh,
let's get on to the Megadeth release.
Yes, the supposedly, and I say that not mocking them, but it's supposed to be the last album that Megadeth ever puts out, and this is going to be the last tour of Megadeth. Excellent. Yeah. That would have been a great show. Def Leppard, Iron Maiden. Oh yeah. That's an excellent show. But yeah, Megadeth has got this new album out, and I didn't get to listen to it yet. I knew it dropped today.
Ah,
I did hear two songs, and I only heard two songs. I heard a song called Hey God, which
okay.
was interesting to say the least. It had the Christian metal boards kind of lighting up today, asking people what they thought of the lyrics, and it's
Yeah.
pretty interesting lyrically. But the Ride the Lightning cover, oh man, that is badass.
What? Oh,
it,
okay, okay.
it's
So it's positive.
yeah, it was like a bonus track or something, but it's definitely a positive song. Mustaine kills it. The guitar sounds great. The solo is absolutely insane. And to hear Dave sing it, I actually, man, I might have to listen to it a few times, but it might pass Metallica for me, and that's tough because I really do dig that song. And it's like, wow, it was like very good, very well produced, very well done musically, and kudos to Dave for saying, you know what, this if I'm going out, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it, man. I'm going to go out and do this and do a song I wanted to do from a former band. I don't know what the Metallica camp thinks about it or their biggest fans, but I'd say he's entitled, number one, and he did a great job on it. He didn't change it much, but it's just a fresh take on it from his perspective. I really enjoyed it. Now, if the rest of the album comes close to that, it's going to be a home run for Megadeth,
Yeah.
that's what I want to see. I want to see them go out on the big top note. I'm a Megadeth guy, I'm big time. And oh man, good, good. That's amazing to hear that it's that good. So I can't wait to dig into it. I didn't even know it. I actually had no idea it came out today, and I just seen a couple clips, and I got to see these two songs. So I haven't been to Spotify yet, or whatever, and I will go and get that, of course. And oh man, I'm just so glad that she just said that, and because I wanted it so bad to be really good, and I can't wait to hopefully see them again. I will make it a point to try to see them no matter where they're at. But I think they'll come to Ohio. I think they'll be around.
Well,
We'll definitely get a shot.
they they're definitely going to be down at Louder Than Life,
Yeah, yeah, I would say,
and
but it's like I've went to Louder Than Life the last couple of years. I don't know if I have another Louder Than Life in me,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
It's at my age, it's still cool to go, but man, it's in a long 4 days, and you can't really catch every band you want to. But it might be worth the trip. It might be a thing to go. And not only that, that album came out, which was phenomenal. Alter Bridge just had an album come out I didn't even know about. So I have to look up Alter Bridge yet. They got a new album. Supposedly, I've heard people talking about it. It's like, when the hell did this happen? Didn't know
Yeah,
about it. And I'm behind on a lot of them because I even want to go old school a little bit and check out the Peter Criss solo album. Now,
nice.
it's not going to be a banger by any means, but I definitely want to check it out because I'm a Kiss fan. I was a Kiss
Yeah,
Army for most of my life, and I still am, I guess. And I always want to give them some love when I can. And Peter Criss was more of a badass on the drums than he got credit for. It's just you didn't hear it, but he was doing all kinds of stuff back there, and it's like, yeah, it's neat to watch people cover him on like these drum shows. And it's like, wow, he was doing this and he was doing that. And you just didn't think you think he was a pocket guy, but he was doing a lot more stuff than we give him credit for back there. So it'd be interesting to hear if he goes to a more jazz style or whatnot. But definitely Megadeth is going to be on rotation this weekend. Yeah, Alter Bridge definitely on rotation. I'm an Alter Bridge fan. I know we don't talk about them a lot, but it's nice that they got some new stuff coming out too. So
yeah.
awesome, awesome,
Well,
awesome. A bunch of good music coming out.
I got. I was at work last night, and midnight rolled around, and the album downloaded on Apple Music, and we just had a live listening party that my crew did, so they got to get a taste of that. So that was pretty
Nice.
exciting. And then I listened to it on the way home, and I listened to it as much as possible today. So this whole album, this Megadeth album, it's pretty fucking good. I mean, just
Excellent. That sounds good, man. That's like, oh, got an Exodus. Oh yeah. If a new Exodus is anything like Bonded by Blood, I'm all over it. That's my absolute favorite Exodus album. Even with the strange vocals. Back in the day, it was Piranha, Lesson in Violence. It's just, it was like that was my one of my first thrash albums that I'd heard. When I got introduced to thrash, they had a video called "The Ultimate Revenge," and it was Exodus, Venom, Slayer. And it's like, what a way to introduce yourself to some thrash metal. So
yeah,
yeah, I remember that from way back then. And the singer was kind of off, but he's went. They've had a couple different ones. I think they're back to went back to Sousa, I believe. I get mixed up. Sometimes Dukes and Sousa get kind of mixed in my memory. I just seen them this summer, so I should know which one it was, but I didn't pay attention that much. I thought it was Rob Dukes, but I could be wrong. Anyway, anything new by Exodus, yeah, it's gonna be on my radar too.
well,
I'm out of the loop with the new releases, man. What the
I,
hell?
what are you doing, man?
I guess I'm not setting my music service for new releases the correct way. I used to get
Yeah.
them, I thought,
Well,
but maybe.
I get see a lot of stuff on X for the new releases. I mean, Testament came out. I think they've got a new release. I listened to a few of those songs. Did not sound bad. Sounded pretty fucking heavy.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah,
So there's a New
Testament,
Testament out
Testament.
there running around. I think it's last month, maybe.
Yeah, you're talking Testament and Exodus are right outside the Big Four. A lot of people think they should have been in the Big Four as far as thrash metal goes. So Venom, yeah, Countess Bathory. Oh yes, yes. She's after my heart here, man. This is like the stuff that Countess Bathory was exceptionally great song by Venom. I know you, Skeeter, you're probably not into Venom that much, but they had the look, they had the singer was like, yeah, he looked the part, and that battery, the way he said that was just like, and it's a jamming song too, but that was definitely a scary moment in my thrash metal introduction because I'd never seen that stuff. I
Yeah.
was 18, I think 18 years old when I seen all that stuff. So it came out like 86, this video, or 85, something like that. Of course, our buddy Rod's the one that got me to watch it as a,
Yeah.
you know, and man, just the Venom was the dark, disturbing stuff. And then you would go into Exodus, which was just pure speed. I mean, Piranha, my God, that's moving. And then you go into Slayer, it's like, good grief. These guys are brutally fat and fast at the same time for back then. I mean,
Yeah.
there's some bands now that got maybe heavier sounds, but holy moly, was that a eye opener when you're a young guy? So yeah, Cronus, yes, that's his. He actually did a track on Dave Grohl's album too that we've talked about, the Probot album, where he had picked different singers for every song. Cronus does a song on that Dave Grohl, and Dave Grohl, you love him or hate him, but those people on that album were like off the chain. Cronus, you had Lemmy was on that. Singer I gotta never remember his name, but DRI singer was on that. It was like a bunch of great singers, vocalists were on that Probot album. I still love that. I still have it. I still play it. It's phenomenal. Fucking Slayer, hell yes, hell yes. I, I just wish Slayer would just say we're going to come out again. I just don't like it when they do the peekaboo, play
Oh
a few
yeah.
shows, go
Yeah.
back away. If they come out with some new music, let Holt play on an album for God's sakes, and do something like that. But I know he's busy too. He's still in Exodus, so yeah. But I wouldn't. I would like to hear a new material from them. I
Yeah.
loved Hanneman. Don't get me wrong. Hanneman was the glue for them. But boy, it would be cool to hear what Gary would do on his own. If he could incorporate some Exodus type stuff into Slayer, that's two-headed beast, man. That's a two-headed beast. So yeah.
So, did you catch that Pantera was only doing like 4 shows this year? Did
No,
you happen to catch that?
no, I didn't catch that. But I know Zach Wild's going out. The Black Label's coming out they're going on tour. So that might be
Okay.
a thing. And then Charlie just got engaged, or maybe engaged or married to Carla Harvey. They used to be in the Butcher Babies.
I think they got married. They
Yeah,
got
and
married.
yeah, I think you're right. And they're doing that project too. Violent Hour,
Okay.
and he's probably playing the drums for her and them guys too. So you got half the band's kind of doing other things. So Pantera, it's one of them things. They come out, and I know Down's doing a new album this year. So you got Phil, he's going to be busy also. So it's just one of them things. And
Yeah.
exactly, out of retirement for Slayer, that would be cool because it just disappoints me that they retired and come back and did these shows. And but and then at the end of the day, they're still Slayer. I mean, if they come back out with new material, I would still go get it,
Well,
and check that out.
Kerry King is pushing his solo project, right?
Well, yeah, he had it out for a while, and then it just kind of just went away. I mean, I think it's still relevant. I think it's there, but he only played like a handful of shows, and then Slayer was doing the festivals, so he had
Yeah.
that. But man, his band alone is killer. I mean, he's got Mark from Death Angel singing that stuff. That's one of my favorite thrash singers. Death Angel.
Yeah.
The Ultraviolence was a phenomenal album, and I fell in love with that dude's voice. And I don't think they ever got enough love. I really don't. They even did like mellower songs, Room with a View and stuff. It was off the hook. But then he comes out. Mark did some Metal Alliance. He did that project with them where they switch it up every year. I think every couple of years. And then he joined Kerry King, and it's like, man, I was really looking forward to some stuff from them. I love Mark's voice. So we'll see if that comes out. It might come back out. No, you ain't boring us at all.
No, no,
We
no.
love having somebody to talk.
This is what makes the live streams awesome. Is getting people, any people, to come in and chat with us.
Yeah, well, especially like-minded Gen X people.
Yes,
That's
yes.
fantastic. So yeah, you never boring us, trust me. But I don't know, Skeet. It's all this new music is. Hopefully, it doesn't disappoint. So far Megadeth sounds like it's out of the park. Exodus, I'm pretty sure that's going to kick ass. I have to
Yeah.
check it out. So old school thrash metal is not dead. That's a
No.
beautiful thing because a lot of our hair metal people that we listen to, along with the thrash guys, they are just they're going to the wayside, like we talked about. That's kind of depressing because not because I listen to hair metal that much anymore, but you just it makes me feel old
Yeah.
seeing them struggle to go, to end their career. But the thrash guys seem like, we're still in great shape. They don't seem to lose a beat. That's what's crazy to me. The guys that are just rock to hard rock kind of go off to the wayside, and then you got fucking Slayer back out playing. You got Megadeth doing another killer album, and now you got Exodus too. It's like, man, they're like the Energizer Bunny. They must have adrenaline for days. They're playing that shit for 40 years. Wow. I do. I had death and black metal. I'm somewhat good with death metal. Don't really know a lot of black metal. I don't know a lot of the deep, dark, creepy Norwegian stuff. But I listen to my fair share of deathcore. I listen to more core music, I guess. Metalcore, deathcore. And a lot of those bands are coming out. Like last year, Not Enough Space. I've talked about them a lot. I really like their style of metalcore, but I could see that getting kind of redundant. I haven't heard them do enough yet to put them in the upper tier. And there's quite a few bands that are like that for me. They're like they've had a great album or they've had some great singles, but they're not anywhere near the capacity of Exodus and Megadeth. They're good and they're new and they're different, but they're not. They're just not up to the Gen X level yet. They're still in Gen Z down there and struggling. I don't
Well,
know. I mean, I love
what do you
everything.
think the reason is for that? I mean, is it because the trend has gone to releasing more singles or posting music on TikTok, or is it, what is it
Well,
that's causing
I,
this issue?
I got kind of a weird take on it, really. I think these bands have to tour so much to support themselves
Yeah,
that they don't get time sometimes to take a breather and sit down and really write an album. Like back in the day, our age days, they used to go to the studio for 3 months and work everything out. They'd go into the studio without any songs written and work it all out because they had the money, they had the time. Bands today, it's like they're living in their van, 11 months
yeah,
of the year.
yeah,
So I think they have more struggle to do that. And then really that niche, that whole thing, there's only so much you can do, before everybody starts to sound very similar or the same, exactly the same. The
yeah,
heavy, the guttural vocals, the breakdowns, which I love every second of them. I'm into that stuff that makes your heart feel like it's coming out of your chest and all that.
yeah,
But man, how do you mix it up? How do you find a way to break yourself apart from the pack? The hair metal bands were the same way, if you really
yeah,
think about it.
yeah,
But they had enough differential back then that they could kind of separate themselves. A lot of it was the singer. Now, if
yeah,
you're a guttural vocal singer, I hate to tell you, a lot of them sound the same. And it
Yeah.
doesn't bother me so much. But I know a lot of people get turned off by that. They go, I
Yeah.
can't understand them, and they all sound the same.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, at that point, I can't argue with them. But I also love the musical differences from metalcore to deathcore to,
Yeah.
the 18,000 genres we got right now,
Yeah.
anime slam and stuff. So,
So,
it's like,
what are
uh,
you up to date on any of these bands?
yes, I've seen all three of them and different times. I got to see Suicide Silence way back when, like 2011, and I had never seen anything like them at that time, but they played right after Kingdom of Sorrow, who I was there to see.
Okay.
So I kind of was wore out, and I wanted to go out and get the guys in Kingdom of Sorrow to sign my stuff. So I missed out on that a little bit.
Yeah.
Chelsea Grin, I saw. It's probably been 4 or 5 years ago. I was blown away by their breakdown stuff, but the singer, they had a singer, of course, but the drummer did a lot of singing, and you don't see that too much. I seen them do that. Code Orange is another heavy band I saw had a singer that was doing a lot of singing from the drum set. And just this past year, I saw Lorna Shore at Louder Than Life.
Okay. How was that?
And well, Lorna, the production was fantastic. Will
Okay.
Ramos, man, Will Ramos is a freaking beast. He's a freak of nature. The way he can get that low and just the screaming part too.
Yeah.
It was fantastic, but my wife it was not a big Lorna Shore fan, and I understand it was the end of the day. It was like day 2 or 3, and it was like 100 fucking degrees out all day. So yeah, we only caught a handful of songs from them before we scooted back to the hotel, and it was just the bass. She's a bass player, so
Yeah.
the bass drops were fucking out of this. They're crazy. They're crazy on bands like Lorna Shore. And I mean, they're one of the heaviest like breakdown bands. The only thing I don't like about Lorna Shore, and I'm sure there's other bands that do this, I do not like triggers on drums. I'm not a fan of the trigger system. And this guy plays amazingly quick. And it's like he's a great drummer as far as technically, but that sound drives me a little bit batty. That trigger sound of the double bass is just not for me. But Will Ramos is definitely for me. In the breakdowns into the Hellfire, my God, that was impressive. And it's one of those things you love that music, or you hate it, kind of, or you're like me and you really like it, but I don't follow everything they do.
Yeah.
Suicide Silence, I loved everything they did with Mitch, but Eddie come in after Mitch, and it just wasn't the same. And I hate to say that, especially about like a screamer and growling kind of person. You think they would be similar. That's one of the cases where it wasn't. Mitch had a talent, man. He was just one of those guys. And, he passed away 20 some years old. And it's like, that was horrible, because it's like I was just getting into Suicide Silence when that happened. So, yeah, but I've seen them all. They were all a little intense. The older I am, yeah, trigger system. There you go. I don't like them either. I just don't like. And I know drummers are big on that now, and it reminds me of what we just talked about recently on an episode: click tracks, all that kind of stuff. I'm not a big, huge old school punk fan, but I wish that music still existed. The production wise. You have no triggers. There's no backing tracks. You're not playing to a click in your in ears. You're
Yeah.
just playing to a big ass monitor in front of you and letting it fly and having to know your parts.
Well,
And
at the
I
same
understand,
time,
and we had that discussion. I understand the
yes.
reasoning behind a click track, and I've never played an arena. I've never played a stadium, so it might be almost impossible to do it without a click track,
Well,
without
okay.
that stuff.
Okay, so the triggers. and all that stuff. That's all in part of the production. So if you have live mics, you know what it's like uh, playing a live show. And if you
Yeah.
have stuff coming through the monitors, actually coming through the monitors, it's a big jumbled fucking mess. So you know you gotta go with what you fucking know and getting clean sounds and stuff like that. We are
Yeah, but I
138.
mean, yeah. Oh, Misfits classic, man. That's one of them very easy to know the lyrics to. It's very because that's the important. But yeah, I understand the need maybe in the studio, but this I see them live, and you can. It's just like they're triggers. I just don't. It just sounds so computerized.
Yeah,
Anything like that, it's like, and I'm not saying that I could do any better as a drummer or a vocalist or whatever without that stuff if I was in a stadium or an arena. But it's just like I think, and this is probably going to sound bullshit, but I think it's true. At least at this part in my life, I would rather do the small clubs and not have to fuck with that than to play the arenas. I mean,
yeah,
if I can make a comfortable living touring the small clubs instead of having to play an arena with click tracks and stuff, I would probably do that if I was already set as a artist. But I understand that the demand is too high, and they
yeah,
can't go doing that because every club would sell out. For bands like Metallica, even, or you have Megadeth try to do the final club tour. You're gonna have hell to pay to get tickets, and it's gonna be a mess. But it would
yeah,
be so cool to see. Oh, we
yeah,
think you're cool as hell. We think you're cool as hell. And it's like, we just love somebody that appreciates music like you do. It's like when you're on everything, you know what you're talking about. And that makes me happy. There's fellow Gen Xers have still out here fighting the good fight.
yeah,
We got to stand
yeah,
up. And the fact that she threw in the Lorna Shore and Chelsea Grin stuff that's newer, that makes me happy too, because I'm not alone. Because a lot of times as a Gen X, I bring some of this stuff to the table. Well, Skeeter just got to see Ginger for the first time not too long ago.
yeah,
That's my ever love of my life is Ginger. I mean, that's my favorite band of all time, and that's not new. It's
yeah,
not brand new, but compared to Warrant and Kiss and even Metallica and Megadeth, it is. It's within the last 15 years. But it's still that music is so heavy. I love the heavy music, man. I still can pop Love Gun in or anything like old Kiss or 70s even. I can go Fleetwood Mac Rumors in a minute. It
yeah,
doesn't matter. I like it all, but man, some of this new stuff, it just makes you feel a different way. Ginger's one of them.
yeah,
And yeah, but there's so many other phenomenal bands that you kind of get lost. They get lost in the mix. There's people, they have whole shows like this, and they're bringing up all these bands that I have never heard of, and they're talking like these bands are the greatest thing since sliced bread. And I'm like, how did I miss all this?
yeah.
Oh, nice trust. Oh man.
Uh,
Yeah.
so I'm
Love
going to
that
throw
fact.
this out here since Jen's our one and only chatter right now. Uh,
Yeah.
have have you caught some episodes? I hate to put you on the spot, but have you caught some episodes? And what do you think are your favorite topics that we have brought up? Are we hitting the spectrum pretty good? Are we doing a good job of doing that? And kind of hitting all sorts of rock and metal? Or what's your take on that, Jen? Since you're there,
I mean, yeah. I mean, I do try. We try. It's hard to think of topics, It really is
yeah,
because you want to broaden the spectrum, and you want to just not get into a wormhole like just hair metal, just grunge, just alternative,
yeah,
just hard rock and metal. So it's like, yeah, when we have a whole episode about bands like Ginger or something like that, or and then go back and do Bob Seger. Yeah, we're
Yeah.
trying and it's the way, it's what we listen. It's what I listen to, and it's what you listen to for the most part.
Yeah.
So it's not like we're being untrue to ourselves or trying to, make ourselves into something we're not. This is what I listen to on the daily.
Well,
When I say
and
from yacht rock to death metal, everything in between,
yeah.
it's kind of that way. Really is.
Well, and honestly, we talk about topics to come up with for shows, but Mikey's is he's the one that does most of the heavy lifting on this stuff. He sits around and thinks about what can we talk about, so it's not following trends, or you might see something on one of the other social media things that spurs you to say, well, let's do something like this.
Yeah,
So
like this. Yeah, I get inspiration. I don't try to carbon copy anybody as far
yeah.
as like taking their exact idea and using it. But now I just, oh, okay, yeah, nice.
Awesome. I appreciate
Yeah,
that. Thank you.
yeah,
Thank you.
that's nice. We know we're on the right path at least, and because I don't want to be fake and phony about it. That's my only thing. I don't want to start doing, Taylor Swift album reviews
Yeah.
to find that algorithm, and I just want to talk about what I listen to and what I
Yeah.
appreciate, and it might go back into the 70s and 60s because I'm old as fucking dirt. I'm old, man.
Yeah.
I'm 57 years old, and I spent 30 years playing in the bands, and so I have that kind of stuff to draw from. But I've been a music fan since I was 4 years old. I got my first Kiss album when I was 4 years old, so maybe five, but I was around that age. My grandma didn't want to get it for me, but she got it for me anyway,
Yeah.
and that kind of started me with on to. But then, even back then, I would listen to the Kiss album, then turn around and put Three Dog Night in, or Alice Cooper, or
Well, now
Boston Turner
you're talking
Roses.
about some of the
Yeah,
stuff that I had to listen to.
yeah, and that's what I had. That's what my parents. I had Elvis live from Hawaii. That my mom had the 8 track laying around. That
Oh
shows my age.
God. Yeah.
But I listened to that, and it's like, man, that dude. I don't care. People can make fun of me. That fucking guy could sing, man. He ain't called the king for nothing.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
he had it all. He had everything about it. But so I grew up listening to all that different stuff. Ted Nugent, Cheap Trick, all that stuff in the 70s to Kansas to Boston. And it keeps going, progressing more and more. I'm into the death the heavier stuff. I'm also into Christian metal. And some of that stuff is brutal. There's some brutal Christian metal that people kind of just don't want to listen to because it's Christian. I don't care. I don't care. If it's cool and it's got the vibe I like, I'm all about it. So it's definitely, oh, Kiss Army, absolutely. Yeah, I've been Kiss Army guy. I had the patch. I had the whole booklet from the Kiss Army. When Love Gun came out, I got the little blue paper gun. I was walking around with the blue paper love gun, not knowing what the hell it was, what the hell
Yeah.
the song was about. But yeah, I had all that stuff. I see my first concert ever was Kiss. It was on the Love Gun tour. I was 8 years old, and it emancipated my entire life. That's like I know this is what I want to, not so much do because I didn't start playing music until I was whatever, how old, 20 something. I
Yeah.
didn't really get into it that way, but I was a music fan for sure. And I didn't let this people would say, "Oh, that's puss, that's wussified. That's crap." I don't care. I still like Michael McDonald and Christopher Cross and Toto to this day. I go into Tears for Fears is one of my all-time favorite bands,
Well,
and
and
it's like just all
that's
that stuff.
that's kind of a lot of the reason why we do the shows that we put out is to try to get people to listen to stuff that they might have missed. I mean, it's
Yeah,
kind of like public service, but we want to touch base on the newer bands, but we don't want to forget the past. You still gotta to tip your hat to what came before and say this led to this, led to
yeah.
this, and
There's
That's
so many bands wouldn't exist without Kiss. There's just so many because they were just straight rock and roll. They weren't any other thing but good old school rock and roll. And so many bands followed them into that genre. It's like, oh, Rush, absolutely amazing. That's a trip for a first show, though, man.
yeah.
That's Rush. Rush is one that's going to be out this year, too. And it's going to be interesting to see that. It really is with the new drummer. Um, Man, that's going to be a tough shoes to fill for Anika, but she supposedly got the chops, man. I guess
Yeah.
we'll see.
Yeah.
And if the tickets were having to get a second mortgage, maybe
That was that. Yeah, that was going to be my point.
I I'm
Have you
still
looked into
debating
the price for tickets for Rush?
Rocket Arena in Cleveland, I believe, are going. The seats I would want were about $1,400, I think.
Damn.
So, but I could go cheaper. I don't know what the cheap seats are, but I really, if I'm going to go and spend money to see Rush, I'm going to spend money.
Yeah.
And it's like, but it's really, it comes down to how bad do I want to do it. I've seen Rush before. And then by chance, if something would happen and they're not as good as they were back then, kind of just,
Well,
man, I'll leave well enough alone, maybe. I
that
don't
kicks
know.
open the door on going to see some of these bands that you didn't get an opportunity to see back in the 80s. I mean, I've
Yeah.
seen a lot of bands that you couldn't get tickets for in the 80s because that was the bands. That was the hot
Yeah.
bands. Shit sold out quick. You had to go get your fucking tickets. There's another Gen X reference. You had to go get your tickets. You
At the
couldn't sit
box
on your
office.
phone
Yeah.
and wait for it to open up. You had to wait in fucking line to get your tickets. So, it's so different now. The
Yeah.
old school way was the way, but man, if you want to go to a show now, you got a better opportunity to go see a show.
But let me ask you this. This is an open question here. If you had the chance now and you had never seen like Judas Priest or Iron Maiden or one of those like bands that were centralized, would it be advisable to go now? I mean, because like we went and seen Kansas, right? We went and seen Kansas,
Yes.
and it's like one person that was in the band for a while. Everybody else was gone.
Yes.
So
Yes.
that's a touchy subject because it's like Judas Priest in their prime was outstanding. Iron Maiden, outstanding. I was fortunate enough to see all these bands. But when I want to go, maybe not so much Iron Maiden anymore. I'm just kind of over them a little bit. Judas Priest is like I don't know that I'd want to go see him. I think I want to stay at the pinnacle at the top.
Yeah.
But it's just $1,600. There you go. And it's like I'm damn tempted. That's the sad thing. I am tempted. I feel like a Swiftie because I'm going to shell out that much money.
Well,
But in their defense, I mean, Sleep Token had tickets like that, and they were about the first off, and they're new. I mean, they're 4 or 5 years old. Rush is legendary, and I can't see Rush going out on a tour and not having their shit tight as that's going to be as tight as
yes. Okay. Okay. But at the same time, it, it it's personal preference. What do you want to do? Do you
yeah.
want to go see a legacy band and hear the music performed live? Or do you want to sit at home and listen to the CD and think of, glory days? It's the
Yeah.
live experience for a lot of people. Thank you. Got somebody new in the
Absolutely.
chat.
Thank you very much. Appreciate you. But yeah, I agree with you. It's personal preference. It always has been with any band. I mean, it's an opinion based industry. You love bands, you hate bands. You want to shell out that kind of money, or you don't. But here's the thing with a Rush. I mean, as much as she might kill it on the set back there, it's still not Neil, man. So it's like I got to see with Neil. I think I'm gonna leave it, but at the same time, that drive in me wants to go, man. Getty and Alex deserve your support for one
Yeah.
more.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, give them one more. And I think everywhere they're playing right now, or they got set up to play, is 2 nights. So
Yeah.
they're going to be playing 2 nights in all these arenas, like Rocket Mortgage Arena, whatever that is up there. Yeah, it's going to be Painkiller. Oh, Painkiller was a killer tour though. Painkiller
Yeah.
was. I remember that tour. I think the last tour I went on though, I what was the last one I went? It wasn't Painkiller. I just knew that was a good show. I seen it on DVD. But I think the last one I've seen Priest was like Defenders of the Faith.
Oh
I mean,
wow.
the Wayback Machine. It was before
Well,
Turbo and Ram It Down and all that stuff.
I got to see him on the 50th, on the 50th anniversary tour.
Yeah, yeah.
They came through Cincinnati, and I had not seen Priest with Halford. So for
Oh, yeah.
me,
Oh,
it
yeah.
was I finally got to see Halford singing. I got to see uh yeah
Yes, it
thank
is.
you,
It is
Consume. Yeah,
great.
it is. It's a fucking great solo. And getting to see him play it live was fucking awesome. I did get to see the Replacement Singers tour.
Oh, yeah. Ripper's great.
Yeah,
Ripper's a great singer.
I got to see
Yeah.
Ripper and Anthrax with John Bush. So that was
Oh,
actually the
yeah.
first time I got to see both those bands was with the Replacement Singer.
Yeah, see, I'm fortunate. I got to see him with the originals, and I'm good with that. I never seen him with John Bush as far as Anthrax goes, but Joey's just, I mean,
I
he's
I've
still
never
hitting
seen
pretty good.
Joey. I've never seen Joey. So I'm
Oh,
like
yeah,
going,
that's
if they come around, I would like to see Anthrax with Joey.
well, that's the rumor that Anthrax is going to going to be on tour with Metallic or Megadeth, and I even forget. There's a Megadeth's not even the headliner on the tour
Yeah,
they're going on. It's Iron Maiden, I believe.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So it's like that lineup would be like it would blow your mind. I can't
yeah,
imagine. Anthrax has always been good every time, and
yeah,
but there's a lot going on, man, with Anthrax. The people, Charlie's in
yeah,
something else, and so I don't know what's going to happen with that as far as getting to see them. But man, it's just Rush. It's going to be tough. It's going to be
yeah,
tough to say no to that, but at the same time, I'm debating within myself. Put it that
yeah,
way. I
yeah.
really struggle with that.
And yes,
But
Jen,
yeah,
that is a fucking badass intro, and it was cool to see him play it live with Priest
oh
at
yeah,
the
yeah,
age at that 50th anniversary was to see him rip that out and still be on fucking point was just totally
yeah.
awesome. It
It's
was
one of the
awesome.
better drum intros. That one's up there. I like that. Hot for Teacher. Those kind of drum intros. Even bands that aren't metal, like Queens of the Stone Age, A Song for the Dead. That beginning. It's not fast. It's not, but it's just people copy it all the time. But yeah, I'm more
Well,
into that kind of stuff.
Lombardo playing anything in Slayer, you got to see that when he
Yeah,
was in the
yeah,
band, right? So
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I see.
definitely that's
I love Lombardo. I wish I would have got to see him when he was playing with Suicidal, but yeah, I would still go see Suicidal today just because I like Jay Weinberg. I thought he did great in Slipknot. I don't know what the deal was, but I seen the original Jordy, and then I seen Jay later in Slipknot. I thought it was pretty comparable. I don't know what the deal was, why Jay left, and I mean they got the master now though. I mean that dude from Sepultura, he's fucking crazy, and he plays as hard as I've ever seen anybody play, and that speed on top of it. I
yeah.
mean, he beats the shit out of stuff back there, and it's like, so yeah, I didn't miss out on any. I think the Slipknot experience. I've seen them 3 times, and they were good every time, but it's like I get the whole experience for you. Like you saw Priest, it was Dave Travis, correct? That's who
Yes.
was the drummer, I believe.
Yes. Yes.
Say, I don't. that's who I would like to see. I've never seen him with Dave Travis. I don't believe. I don't think he was on Defenders. I don't remember. It's been a long time ago, but
I don't
Defenders was
think
was
so.
pretty early on, and man, it was like that was just an awesome fucking show.
Yeah,
That album's it's my favorite album from Judas Priest. So it's
yeah,
like it was a great collection of songs at that show. It was off
yeah.
the chain, and it was that old Cincinnati Gardens that is no longer there.
Oh my God, yeah. The
Yeah, yeah,
Gardens,
a long,
yeah.
long time ago.
Wow, that was Alice Cooper for me. Was at the Gardens with
Yeah, yeah, it's
Tesla,
like
with Tesla opening up. So
yeah,
here we go.
Tesla's still on my yeah, yeah. That was what the thing. They kicked Joey out for numerous things, and then John Bush. I mean, some of the songs I heard John Bush do were pretty good. He's out touring on that right now. He's out doing some of the Anthrax stuff that a lot of people say was as good a quality as any of them. But
Okay, there you go.
yeah,
Thanks, Dogma. Thank you.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. There you go. Oh, yeah, Jordison. Yeah, yeah. Okay, I got mixed up. I thought we were on the Anthrax thing, but yeah, Jordanson. Yeah, I mean, his other band I didn't like them. The band he had after Slipknot, I was not a big fan. And yeah, but he was a phenomenal drummer. He kind of set the tone for a lot of those bands, as far as drumming styles go. So yeah, it's sad that he's gone at such an early age.
Yeah.
I wasn't a big fan of the band he was in, but I saw him fill in for somebody, and I can't for the life of me remember who it was. Maybe this guy's a no. Fake, fair take. Yeah, I get you. But he filled in for a band at a show one night, and I can't for the life of me remember, but it was like on the spot, and it wasn't his normal type of music, and he nailed it pretty well. It might have been Metallica. It might have been a Metallica show somewhere that he filled in and did the show that night for whatever reason. So he had plenty of talent. It's just, you know, the drugs take a lot of the goodness out of people too.
Well, let's
I
let's
think
go
he
back to let's go back to this. Jen said she's still pissy about Bo Staff being in Slayer.
Yeah, yeah. But the thing about Bo Staff, I don't think his drumming style bothers me as much. He just doesn't seem like a nice guy. He doesn't seem every picture he doesn't smile. He doesn't. Lombardo always had like a very personable look to him. Like, yeah,
Does
I'm a
Slayer's
badass,
fucking
and I'll play.
smile? I mean, honestly, does Slayer
Yeah.
smile?
Oh yeah. Tom Araya smiles all
Okay,
the
okay.
time. I mean,
I mean, kind of.
both staff. I mean, just some of the pictures I saw just set me off a little bit. Now, I wasn't. He's definitely not a Lombardo by any means, as far as even on the drums. But that's hard to
Well,
do.
what's
Not too many
what's
people
Lombardo
are.
doing now? Is what
I think he's
who's he
still
playing
fucking
with?
around with Mr. Bungle and stuff. He's
Okay.
doing all that crazy Mike Patton stuff, which is fine, but it's like, man, I'd like to see him get back into some heavy. He might be in another project now that I don't know of, but that's the last I heard. After he left, he filled in for Suicidal for a year
Okay.
or two, I thought,
Well,
and then
let's ask the chat. Let's ask the chat. Uh, who would you like to see back in a band that's not in the band anymore?
yeah,
Throw,
that's a good
throw us a,
question.
throw us a curve here. Who do you think you'd like to see come back? Be it vocals, guitar. I mean, let's not get the guys that have passed because, of course, we would want that to happen. But who do you think now is should be back in a band that's out there and touring? Who do you
Yeah.
think?
You got any?
Uh,
Skeeter, do you have any?
uh, Off the top of my head, I'm trying to think of. I mean, I would kind of like to see Skid Row actually let Sebastian in and do a fucking club tour and see how that goes. Did
Oh,
either of you
Helpless, I
like?
did, yeah. Help, I love Helpless, and I love Am I Evil? I don't know about the Prince. I don't know about that. I don't remember that. It might be one of those on the one of the other later albums, but I don't have any. reminiscent of the Prince. But oh man, I loved Helpless. That was like the Kickstarter for Garage Days, and I thought it was great. But oh
So
man, you know what? I kind of like, and this is no slam on anybody, but if we're going with that question, I'm just like, I wouldn't mind seeing Newstead back in Metallica and
no
Robert
shit.
Trujillo go back to Suicidal. Where he
Wow.
started, you know
Well,
I
yeah,
mean
but his
that'd be
son's
fun.
playing. His son's playing
But
for him.
yeah, I know, but his son playing, he's got, he's a young enough kid. He can get
Yeah, but he
into a
didn't do
different
bad.
situation. But
He
I'm
didn't
just
do
saying
bad.
for shits and giggles. I'm not saying for any musical problems or anything like that. It's just there you go, Weinberg. Yeah, I agree with that. I love Jay. I think
Yeah.
I
Uh
love Casagrande though. Eloy, he's badass, man.
huh.
And
Yeah.
take on me. Uh, oh, but yeah, I got little things that are on my list for that. It's like Tim Gaines to go back to playing bass for Striper. Nothing against Perry Richardson at all, because Perry he's come in and filled that job, the heavier Striper stuff that's come out. But it's just I like to see the foursome back together again. For one last go round. Just do a tour. Even do an album. And
There
I mean,
you go,
I'm a
dogma.
big Striper guy, which I know a lot of people aren't, but I love Tim Gaines. He's still out and about, but he hasn't. I would just like to see them do maybe on the last tour they're going to do or something down the road.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of my little bucket list things that I like.
uh, yeah. Let's
Yeah,
get some
Wraith Cliff.
necromancy
Yeah,
going on, and
yeah.
we'll go down that
Summoning,
avenue.
summon Mr. Burton to back. Uh, yeah, well, I do deep dives too, and it's like I've had, you know, uh, some deep like not enough space was a deep dive, but they're coming popular. Deadlands was a deep surprise. You got to meet Casey first,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then the band I got to see, and it's like they're
Oh,
an
and she was
upcoming band.
such a sweetheart, man. She was just so nice. And anybody was coming up to the booth, and she was like, "Oh yeah, I'll get a picture with you." And I was like,
Yeah,
That's awesome. That's so
some like
cool."
some like deep dives though, like Fulci. They're a band I'd never heard of till I seen them. It's Fulci, I believe they're from Brazil. That's some heavy shit. That's a wall of fucking power right there. And it's like I'd never heard of them, and they were like the very first band on day one of Louder Than Life. And I had talked a little bit about it in the past. I thought the planes were flying too low at the state because it's right next to the airport. No, that was dude's voice. And the band, the wall of fucking brutality coming at you. So yeah, with some of these bands, you just got. And then after I dug into their music a little bit, it's like, man, they're solid. They are brutal, but they're solid. So it's like, yeah, I like to go deep dive and finding new bands. Once some are presented to you, some you just got to kind of go find a playlist and say, oh, this song's cool. Who's this? I do that on occasion, not as much as
Yeah.
I should, but I do it on occasion.
So Dogma's got hard take, but Metallica is who they are because of Jason and the Hawaiian. Can't remember his name.
Who's the Hawaiian? Would that be Kirk? I mean, he looks Hawaiian a little bit, but no, that
Was
yeah. But as far as yeah, oh, she's an old Wasp fan.
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, there we
all
go. Now
right,
you're in my
yeah.
neighborhood.
Yeah, definitely. Got Harris on, the master of the triplets on the bass, of course.
No worry, Dogma.
Getty, oh man, they got some great ones on there. But yeah, can't remember I don't know who the Hawaiian is. It might be Kirk Hammett. But Jason, yeah, I was so aggravated when that whole Injustice for All shit went down that I can't believe he stuck around for as long as he did. Really. Somebody drops my bass off the recording so far down
Yeah.
because I got a drummer that's an egomaniac. I would have said, fuck you guys. I go right back to Flotsam and Jetsam and earn a modest living. But I know wanting to play with Metallica is probably a big deal. I'm sure it was the biggest break of his life. But man, that would have pissed me off. That would have rubbed me raw, and I don't think I would have ever got over that. That would have been the hidden dagger that every time they said something I didn't like, I'd throw that in their face. You remember when you dropped my bass sound on the whole fucking album, you douchebags? That would have been my thing. That would have been my take. Oh, there you go. Yeah, full C. Is that how it's spelled? Full chi. Okay, yeah. That's a. I don't even know how to pronounce
That's
the
kind
name,
of
but it's
reminiscent of something else I don't want to talk about. Oh, nice.
yeah.
Uh,
Kirk
let's
Kirk's
see.
soft. Kirk Hammett's soft. And it's just he just wants to stay out of the way and not voice his opinion. At least that's what I got out of the movie. We talked about some kind of monster that time.
Yeah, yeah,
And it's just, man, it's one of those things that Lars is a dick. We knew he was, but it just showed out. James was kind of he was going through whatever he was going through at the time, and he got an
yeah.
attitude pretty quick. And Kirk was like, I just want to sit here and play guitar. I don't want to,
He's a mellow,
Lars is the one
smooth
that
type
blamed
looking guitar
Jason.
player. You know, it's
Well,
like,
he blamed
oh,
Jason
let's
for
just go with
everything.
the flow.
Yeah, but Lars blamed Jason for everything. He quit the band. What the fuck am I missing? Well, it's like, dude, you're lucky he didn't punch you in the face. He didn't treat him very
Exactly,
well. It's like,
exactly.
and Newsted might be a dick too. I don't know. I just know his solo stuff was pretty good. I don't know why he didn't do more of that. And I really liked, Voivod. He was going to play in Voivod. That didn't materialize, but Jason was. I mean, I thought he was a decent bass player. I like the Doomsday for the Deceiver album by Flotsam and Jetsam. There you go. Oh, just
Yeah,
just
yeah. It
say,
just happened to. She's
yeah.
just. Thank you,
Freaking Iron
Jen.
Tears. Iron Tears was one of my. It just ripped my face off. First time I ever heard it, and I'm like, there's some random band from Arizona at the time, and I'm like, oh, that's badass. Didn't know much about him, and he joins Metallica, and that Flotsam and Jetsam. It was one of the best stories I ever had. I'll just intervene with my quick story. You've heard this one. Flotsam and Jetsam was opening for King Diamond down at
Oh,
Bogarts in Cincinnati, and Flotsam played, and they were excellent. I was digging them, but the pit was getting pretty rowdy. Some dude got kicked in his fucking chest and was either coked up or something happened to him. Dude died right there in the pit.
that's fucking
In the pit.
insane.
He
That's
got kicked
fucking
in the
insane.
chest. They had to stop the show for like an hour and a half. And it's like it was rough, but King Diamond people, they were freaky about it, man. They were standing there with their
Oh, I
cape
bet.
on. I'm like,
Yeah,
dude, and we were in the not so great part of Cincinnati either, and then having to be an
yeah,
hour and a half later. So you're getting out of a concert at Bogarts at 1:30 in the morning.
yeah. You're
My car, my car
that's a
parked
little
two
shady
blocks
part of
away.
town.
I'm a
Uh,
fat guy. I power walked my ass off to get to the car. It's
yeah,
like
I
this is
bet.
not a place for me to be, but it's like, yeah, just seeing somebody, have that happen 20 feet in front of me. I mean, I was right outside the pit, and it was
Yeah,
like, what the hell? That guy just out. So yeah, that's just my little clipping about Flotsam and
yeah.
Jetsam way back in the day. So
So Dogma says, I mean, I would have loved to hear Alcoholica. I bet those times are prime.
Alcoholic, what is that? Is that a album? I don't even think I've ever heard that. I don't know that I've ever heard that expression. I just Alcoholica.
That's
I don't know.
Metallica related, isn't it?
It's probably, yeah, you'll have to let me in on that one, man. Maybe I know it and
Oh,
forgot.
you stumped Mikey. You stumped the
Yeah,
dictionary over here.
Alcoholica. It's like I know a lot of weird, obscure bands, but I think Jen's got me on the ropes too because she knows everything. She probably knows a lot more underground shit than I do. Oh yes, thank you. It's a rare breed of us that love Merciful Fate and King Diamond, and it's like a dangerous meeting. Was one of the spookiest sounding badass songs back in the day, and then it just carried on to all his themed albums, them and Abigail, and I mean, just King Diamond back then was phenomenal, dude. He's still good now, but back in it was primo stuff. Oh, sloppy. Okay, I got it. Alcoholic is after Cliff's wedding. I get it now. That they were, not as tight without Cliff holding down the bass line. And Jason, yeah, Jason wasn't no Cliff Burton by any means. And I didn't get to see Cliff. That's one thing I do regret. I first saw Metallica was on Justice for All tour. So it was post Cliff. I wish I'd have got to see Cliff, because I thought he was one of those bass players that he had the what do you call it, a smooth sound to him. Like he could do stuff that you would think most bass players can't do. It was this weird Orion and all that stuff, the fuzz pedal, all that good shit. It's like that's great. Yeah,
Yeah,
I would like to see. I probably have seen some of those bad videos. I think the worst video I ever saw of Metallica though was a show they did. It was before they were famous, like in San Francisco somewhere or something, and it was horrible. I don't know if it was because it was on a DV, like a VCR camcorder, or
yeah,
if it was just they were that bad. But it seemed like they were. Of course, that's when you had Mustaine, McCovey, all them guys.
yeah,
So that could have been a drunken stupor. It could
yeah,
have been pre-alcoholic, if you want to call it that.
yeah.
Could have been them in the early days. So yeah,
Yeah, Jen says
Abigail,
Abigail's a wicked song.
that whole album's fucking great, and it's just anything. Welcome Home was probably one of my favorites because I used to sing it at practice when we were in a band together to annoy them guys. Or Grandma, remember that? I would
Yeah,
scream,
yeah,
Grandma, get out of the chair, stupid, wicked grandma and all that. It's just King Diamond. And he was one of the originators, if you think about it, of the high to low bullshit.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Because Ginger, like I said, my all-time favorite. She goes from pretty nice to the growling beast,
yeah,
which I love. She does it in a heartbeat. So did King, man. He would be the real low, and then he would go up and hit that high notes. All his albums were spooky, and they
yeah.
all seem to be maybe not all concept albums, but I think Abigail and them were like at least theme based. But man, those were great albums. They were great albums.
Jen
Merciful Fate
knows
was
Jen knows a fuckload of bands that'll blow your mind, dude.
oh man, I'm all about that. I'm all about that. And it's like anything that's new and exciting or old that I missed. I'm one of these guys that sometimes has to go back and catch a band from the '70s that I missed. Even. And it's like, whoa, I didn't listen to that stuff when I was. Yeah, I did that with James Gang. It's like when James Gang was out and about back in them days. I didn't even pay attention. But I heard them like much later in my life. It's like, son of a bitch, that's some good music.
Well, I
And
mean,
Joe Walsh,
you
I mean,
know,
Joe Walsh can't hardly beat that.
your exposure to FM radio in the '70s was
Yeah,
new.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
it had all been AM radio for so long, and then FM radio come out, and in our area, Dayton's rock and roll station was WTUE, and
yeah,
fuck, dude, I remember my dad listening to that in the car. So you had all those. I've heard this music, and back then I didn't know who the fuck it was, but
yeah,
that memory kicks in, and you're like, oh man, that's who that is. And then as you grow older, that's when you develop your listening taste. So there's a lot of '70s bands that you got exposure to that once you hear it, like on a classic radio station or even an oldie station now, it just brings back memories, and then that's where you get your deep dive stuff.
yeah, yeah. Because unless you went out and bought the physical copies of that stuff,
Yeah,
it's like you don't even know that you're going to like some of the stuff that you get.
yeah,
Kiss album. It's like I just took a chance. I thought they looked cool.
yeah.
Was a kid. I was a little kid. Oh, they're all dressed up. The star, Star Child and the Spaceman. But the music was, it was now today, that stuff, it's just basic rock music and it's what it was. But the theatrics led it to, greater heights. And I mean, yeah, that's with a lot of bands. That's the way it is.
Well,
Now,
how many bands though in the '70s, '80s that didn't get the radio play still had successful careers? I mean, right off the top of my head, Maiden was huge,
yeah,
and they completely got choked out of being on broadcast radio. So if
Yeah,
you
yeah,
compare then to now, you've got so much more opportunity to hear newer bands that you wouldn't hear because of the internet and streaming and stuff like that. So
right.
that it's just fucking crazy that we can get exposure to all this new music. Nitro, nice.
Oh yeah, I'm like a freight train coming. Ah, yeah, Jim Gillette, man. Yeah, I had that album. I had the first album. Jim Gillette. Yeah, that crazy. He sounded a lot like King Diamond a little bit. I mean, he did. He had the real high
Yeah,
register on. I had that album. And there's a few that bands I thought would be huge that didn't end up being. Oh, Michael. Yeah.
yeah,
What, is that the guitar player? I'm
yes.
not sure.
A guy
Okay.
that would play with the both
Oh, the
hands.
double, both 12. Yeah.
Uh,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
and Dogma, he is still on Facebook and will do lives. So you could actually join chat and talk to him when he's doing a live video on
Huh.
YouTube. So if you want to check, if you still want to catch Michael Badio live, he's still out. Who's he playing for now? Do you know, Mike?
Nah, it might be Stradivarius. He put that up there. I'm not sure of that. I've heard that name, but I always thought that was just a violin.
No,
I don't know
he's
that band. I've heard that band.
uh,
That name. I've heard the name. I
just
don't
go
know.
ahead and take it for a second here, and I'll do a quick
You
search.
Google it up. Yeah, but yeah, I remember Jim Gillette because it was so they had it, so much because of the high voice. I remember that being like the big thing, and me being a wannabe singer, I thought it was crazy how he could get that high. So I bought that album. It wasn't a bad album, though. I mean, it wasn't. I mean, I wasn't. My brother was the guitar guy. Like when I was a kid, the whole damn upstairs was full of the greatest guitar players ever. He had Mountain up there, Robin Trower, Alvin Lee, Frank Marino, Mahogany Rush, Santana. I mean, my brother had that whole collection. I wasn't a guitar guy. I was more of the vocal guy, the drum guy. Yeah, and but yeah, I appreciate what they did, but it was like it was so fast on some of that nitro stuff, man,
Oh,
that it was like Ingve kind of stuff.
Man of War. He joined Man of War.
Man of War, really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
on September 2nd, 2022, Man of War announced that Baggio will join the band for their 2023 World Tour. So there you go.
Wow. Okay. I barely remember. I remember Man of War. Didn't listen to them a lot though. I mean, I don't really know their music stuff. It's kind of like for you, Wasp is a big deal. I just remember the hits for Wasp. And it's like I didn't get into them, but that album that I found that and that we talked about, the
Yeah,
Gogorthia or whatever, that's phenomenal, dude. And it's 2015, something like that. It was a newer album, but
Golgotha.
I loved it. Golgotha,
Golgotha.
yeah, okay. And it was and I downloaded it. I have it on my stuff because I just thought it was a different kind of album, but I thought it was fantastic. Ingve, man.
Ingve
Yeah, Ingve.
fucking Malmsteen. I got a little story I'll share with you real quick. I'll share with you real quick.
I remember Powerwolf. I just saw them. I just saw Powerwolf in Kentucky in September. So that's the first time I ever seen them. But they were incredible. That whole power metal section that they had at that festival this year was out of this world. Glory Hammer was there. Of course, Dragon Force was there. But Powerwolf,
yeah, they were
man,
great.
Ailstorm, they were all pretty fucking good, man. It was fun to watch, and it was just Powerwolf was. I never thought that they were that tight. You know, I just went to see them on a fly, and it was like that was great. So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know the tire. I don't know that one, but that reminds me of like a Fates Warning sounded thing. Yeah, Fates Warning was one of the big ones I loved.
So,
Power Glove.
like I said, real quick,
Mm.
I'm gonna address this Ingve fucking Malmsteen. Great guitar player. He was supposed to show up for a thing at Sweetwater last year before. he was going to be one of the artists featured there, and the fucking guy called off last minute.
Oh,
I'm sick. I'm sick. I can't show up. So it kind of knocked it down the Ingve on the list for me. I was really kind of bummed about that. So he lost some
yeah,
points there. Power Glove.
yeah. I don't know Power Glove either. I don't think
Is
I heard.
that video game based band? No shot. Huge
Yeah,
body. Yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was, and it's like I think the most depressing interaction I ever had with a band like that was George Lynch back when, and we saw him at the Triangle, just because he was having
Oh,
such a bad day or whatever. But it wasn't like, I was there to see George Lynch, but I was there to see Dokken. But it's just he was in such a foul mood the whole time that he didn't seem like he was even enjoying himself. Now you've had interactions with him in your life, several times,
yeah.
and he
So
was a phenomenal guy.
I'm not gonna
But it's
let you
just
bad talk George
no,
Lynch.
I'm not. I'm not bad talking.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
talking that night. He was kind of a
yeah,
dick.
yeah. He
The,
was. He was. He
the
was not
guy,
in a
the
good
guy we,
mood.
the guy we went with had the guitar and was going to have him sign it, all that, and it pissed. He broke the shit out of it in the parking lot. He was that mad. So it's like, yeah, I understand. That's your hero,
Yeah, yeah.
and it's bad. Having a bad day is one thing, but when you're playing a small place like that,
Yeah. I know.
humble
I know.
yourself,
I know.
humble it down. But
And
he's still a good guy.
he was a lot better later on. Jen says, "Do you like any Armored
Armor
Saint
Saint.
or Sabotage?"
I didn't listen to a lot of Armored Saint, but I listened to enough that I know who they were. But Sabotage at Hall of Mount King, man. It's like I just think that they're more well known now for Trans Siberian Orchestra.
Yeah.
But
Well,
they're supposed to have a new one coming out. They're supposed to have some new music coming out, from what I understood.
now
So it
Jen.
might be.
Yeah, Jen. I did get to see Armored Saint open up for Wasp a few years back, and they put on a great show. So I was impressed. I didn't get a catch at all because we got to the venue just a little bit late. I caught probably three quarters of the set, and they put on a great show. So they were a great opener, and they'd opened up for Wasp before. So go ahead, Mikey. Sorry.
No, no, you didn't interrupt me. I just with Armored Saint, I think here's the problem I have, and it's not a problem per se, but in my head, I get them and Metal Church mixed up. Don't ask me why. But it's like if I hear a Metal Church song, I might think it's Armored Saint and vice versa. And I have no
Gotcha.
clue why. It doesn't make any sense. But it's one of those things. I didn't listen to either one of them enough to say I know their music and stuff. It was one of them. They were definitely the more obscure bands back then. Halloween was another one. Grim Reaper, those kind of bands were less on the radar. But like
Yeah.
Nick Boycott, man, he was like Balcow, however you say his last name, but the curly-headed dude's what I always called him, the left-handed guitar player. I thought he was kind of cool. I thought he played pretty well and everything he was in, but he'd had his own show or something too. I saw on the internet years later, uh, but those bands like that kind of slipped under. They slipped under my radar a little bit. Because back in, like you said, you didn't have all the streaming services and stuff
Yeah.
we have now. So I see something on like a MTV. I would like try to find somebody that I knew was into them and have them download or copy me a cassette. However
Yeah.
they used to do. But not every time. There was some great bands I found like that though, that were just like Fate's Warning, man. I just heard them at somebody's house. I said, "Can I get a copy of that, dude?" And that Awaken the Guardian album is off the fucking charts, man. That's so good. Beta Morgana. Oh, she saw one on the same year tour you were on, Skeet, with Wasp.
Well,
Yeah.
not because Armored Saint had toured with Wasp back in the day too.
Oh,
So
really?
that was kind of cool that they had gotten on this last round. I mean, I would have still liked to seen Wasp do the first album. and that's what
Oh,
he was just touring on last year or the year before.
well, he just they did what 40 years? They just had their 40
Yeah,
year a couple years
yes,
back. Yeah, I remember
yes,
you going to that show. I
yeah.
remember you talking about that.
So the tour he did after that was he was doing the whole first album live, but I don't remember if Armored Saint was opening for him for that one. So forgive me for that, for not
Yeah,
knowing that right
sometimes
offhand.
yeah, sometimes you hear a band you hadn't heard for years, and then it kind of clicks that you did this and that. Warrior Soul was that for me. I don't know if you ever heard Warrior Soul. They had like one album I really dug had Rocket 88 on it. And it was just a cassette. I wore the hell out of it. I just saw it on YouTube. Somebody was reviewing that album, and I'm like, that brings back memories. That was like early '90s, probably. I heard that. It was like, great. Sleeping in the Fire.
Yeah, that's a great tune.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
that's one that I didn't appreciate till I didn't. I mean, I
later.
really appreciated, yeah, when I heard it at a certain timing. It's like I just kind of blew a lot of Wasp off when I was younger. I wasn't a giant Wasp fan, so it kind of ended up. I had to find them later in life. And the Last
Yeah,
Command, I listened to that when we had the trade off. I
yeah,
think that's
yeah.
when I listened to that for the first time. So yeah, I'd like that album that I found that somewhat religious album they called it. That was pure gold, man. Just
Yeah,
like falling back asswards into something. It was
yeah.
so spectacular. So yeah, they got Chris Holmes is out doing something now. He's doing. It
Uh,
was this past weekend they were having this big show out Sunset Strip.
oh,
They were
really?
doing this,
Nice.
yeah. There was a bunch of people from different bands playing together, and I can't remember all the people that were there, but I remember seeing Chris Holmes. So it's like,
Uh, he did. He was touring and did a video called Mean Man, and it was showing him in Europe. So he kind of took the Blackie way for a long time and was just doing Europe tours,
well,
and was and had he was doing smaller clubs and stuff like that. But I mean, it was an interesting video. So if you see that out there, Jen, Mean Man with Chris Holmes, it kind
uh,
of shows him on tour and with his wife and stuff like that. Dogma says, "What do you both think of Accept? Overplayed, overhyped to radio."
I I think Accept's a little bit underrated, to be honest. I think they had more good songs than even I knew about. And I had the good fortune to see them too. I mean, a lot of these festivals are good for that, but you only see 5 or 6 song sets. But man, I loved Metal Heart. That album was killer. Balls to the Wall, of course, is phenomenal anyway. But yeah, I think Udo by himself, I don't care for as much,
Yeah.
even though he was the voice of Accept. I think the guy they got now singing is really good. But yeah, Accept they got too compared to AC/DC, and they did get Balls to the Wall got played way too much.
Oh yeah.
So I think people just kind of, but Restless and Wild is my favorite Accept song, and it didn't get played hardly at all. So it was like the Metal Heart album, though. That's the one I would suggest to somebody that didn't know, like a brand new person to accept. Uh, or banger. Yeah, like I said, I think they're underrated. I don't know what you think, Skeet.
I I'm not a huge. I mean, Balls to the Wall was their big fucking hit, and I
Yeah.
never really deep dived into anything after that. So that is my fucking bad on my part. So you're more knowledgeable because you've seen them at the
Well, I mean,
festivals.
I had a couple buddies that were really into accept, hardcore into accept, and they gave me like the Metal Heart album. That's the one I remember the
Okay.
most. But I knew Balls to the Wall and Restless and Wild, and that's Restless and Wild was just a different kind of animal. Now, Udo, I people have seen him, said he did a really good job, but I just seen the videos I've seen of him didn't look that great. But this guy that replaced him, he's been around for a while, and I think he does a fine job. So Yeah.
Jen comes. Udo Dirk Schneider was a mini beast, underrated and needed more recognition.
That could be, yeah. Like I never saw except with Udo. Okay. I only saw him here recently for the first time, but Udo played somewhat local to us. Now people talked
Yes.
about that being a great show. So it's like I should have, would have, could have. I would have liked to have seen him play him.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean the songs on the recordings were, yeah, they were really good. This guy now, I just got to give him props. Kind of like Queensryche, same boat. Todd
Yeah.
LaTorra, I mean, you can't get any closer to being as good as Jeff Tate as Todd LaTorra. It's a perfect replacement singer.
Yeah.
You run into those very rarely, that are so good you don't even really notice. I mean, Tate's my dude. We know that.
Yeah.
But man, for a replacement for him, the guy kills it. And it's like they didn't miss a beat. And Tate still sounds as good as he ever did almost. I mean, he's got a
Yeah.
little rough
Yeah.
spots here and there, but
Yeah.
man, he puts on a hell of a show. It's fun. His
Well,
band's great.
and you could tell the difference from when Todd had joined the band because I got to see them. Shit. Kicks opened up for him, and we got to see Queensryche with Todd LaTorra,
Hmm.
and Kicks opened up before they retired last
Yeah,
year.
I saw
So I
Kicks
got to
open for
see
Striper,
that,
right?
and the lower stuff he was doing sounded really good, but you know what I mean. It was you
Yeah,
could tell when I saw him later opening up for Priest that he really fell into that part. So sorry to
yeah.
pause like that. Crocus
It's
and
all right.
YNT, yes, Crocus is
Now,
one of my faves.
now you'll have to go back, Jen. You'll have to go back. We did a whole episode on Crocus. Might be one that
Yes,
you that missed. We
might
did
have
do an
missed that
episode
one.
on Crocus, but I wasn't as big a fan of Crocus as Skeeter was, and it was like I was more a Y&T guy. That Contagious album, I don't give a shit. That's pure fucking
Yeah,
gold.
Contagious is
That
fucking
that
excellent.
that's the one of the better so-called hair bands if they lumped into that. But
Oh shit.
I just thought they were fantastic.
Okay.
Okay, so you go.
Dogma says, okay, so you're dead the next day. What's the show you'll see to end all shows? I'd be curious of Mike and me.
Brent. Yeah, I know
Yeah.
what he meant.
Sorry, that's all right.
But
That's all right.
mine's gonna be a little bit depressing. I think for most people that heavy music because it's just a band I really wanted to see and never have. It's Pearl Jam. I know that's probably going to get me in trouble, but
Oh my
uh, I
God.
I loved Pearl Jam when they came out, and it was like I've never seen them, and everybody else almost. I mean, literally almost every other band I've really had a gumption to see. I have. I've seen all the greats, from Judas Priest and Maiden and Quiet Riot and The Day and all that. I've seen all them Dokken 6 times or what, Striper 12 times. I mean, I've seen Queensryche numerous times, but Pearl Jam has eluded me. And that was my grunge. That was my grunge thing. Because, yeah, I know it's funny. But Mother Love Bone was my favorite hair band, grunge band combination. Andrew died, so the remaining people joined and formed Pearl Jam. And that's one of the things. And I don't really care for their personal lives in Pearl Jam, put it that way. And I wish they would go on a tour and do the 10 album, maybe 10 and verses in their entirety. That
That
would
would
be
be
my
good. That
ultimate
would be a
show.
good show.
That would be my.
That would be a good show.
I don't care about No Code. I don't care about. I mean, the album they had, the rock album last year though in 24 was really good. It was my rock album of the year, and it's one of them. I guess guilty pleasures or fetish bands that yeah I've never got to see Pearl Jam. It would just be purely because I missed them in the 90s. Missed them in the 2000s. So
Yeah. Dogma says
yeah,
versus would be solid.
versus is right there with 10 for me. It's like versus is probably a little more upbeat overall than 10 is. But 10's got some classics. Not the hit. I'm not even talking about the hits. I'm talking about Release Me and Garden, stuff like that. On 10 was more my style than Jeremy and Even Flow and all that. But Verses, man, Rear View Mirror might be the most underrated song of all time. It's
Okay,
definitely my favorite Pearl Jam song.
that's crazy.
Rear View Mirror, Black is right behind it off the first album, but yeah, that's just so good. And the elderly lady behind the counter, and that whole acoustic song, and Brother.
Okay, I've got an answer for you, Dogma. Uh, I had a chance to go see the Who before Entwistle passed, and that was the reason why I didn't get to see the Who was because Entwistle passed. But we had tickets to go see the Who, and I would love to go back to catch the Who when Moon was still alive. So that would be one that if I was gonna die, I would have. That's
Yeah,
like
but
my
now
regret.
if you're gonna die
Yeah, if
tomorrow,
I was
what
gonna
band?
die, that would have been the one to see.
But yeah, I mean Pearl Jam's still kicking it, so I got a chance yet to see them.
And yes, Jen,
Yeah,
that
it
if you
is.
had a chance to see one last show, it'd be very hard to choose from. It is. It's hard to choose because I
I
have
mean,
gotten to see a lot of bands. I mean, I would have loved to see Bon Scott with ACDC, but that's not
yeah.
possible.
Same with me. If like I would have loved to have seen Nirvana. I mean, it's just one of them
Yeah,
things.
yeah,
And seeing them without Kurt is not going to do it. It's just uh Foo Fighters. Now they're popular and all that. I don't care if I ever see the Foo Fighters. I don't know what it is about Pearl Jam, and it's just that grunge era that I missed them. And there's outside shot that they might still do a show I can go to. So I'm holding out hope that
yeah.
before I kick the eternal bucket, I get to see Pearl Jam. That'd be
I did get to see LA Guns. So yeah,
elegant. Yeah.
that was a good show. Uh,
Now I'll
I'd
challenge
have
that
liked to
though
seen it
because
back in the day because it wasn't
yeah,
an
well,
awesome show, but it was a good show.
the
Uh,
sleaze rock though, I found my new love with Junkyard this past summer. I thought
yeah, yeah,
Junkyard's criminally underrated for the sleaze metal, uh, hair metal genre. They were so good that I feel like an idiot for missing them. I really did, and I've got them all. Every album they have, I have on in my library now.
yeah,
But I love LA Guns, don't get me wrong. But yeah, it was like their rival right up there. Junkyard was so just passed by. And it's
yeah,
sad. And I did it myself. I mean, I'm guilty too.
yeah.
And I love LA Guns though. I mean that the whole Rip and Tear and all that was
That
the
first album
album
was
that I
really
listened
good.
to.
I
Yeah.
love the first album. Let's go back just for a minute. What makes the Who worth it? For me, I heard a lot of the Who in the 70s as a kid, and going back and listening to some of their classic stuff. I mean, they were kind of ahead of their time. For I mean, people choose the Stones over the Who, and for me, it was you know Tommy, Quadrophenia. They were groundbreakers at the time, and my generation was a great tune. So it's just that early rock, and to get a chance to have seen them, the greats, while they were all together would have been awesome. I was just bummed to miss that show. John Entwistle is
Yeah.
a fucking phenomenal bass player,
Oh yeah.
and
And it
he's
so much.
very forgotten and
So much.
underrated now.
Yeah. Bob O'Reilly. That's all you got to say about the Who.
Yeah, I mean,
To
come
see
on,
Bob O'Reilly is I
that would have
saw him
been
at the replay,
fucking
after Moon myself is what I saw, but it was still great, man. Bob
yeah,
O'Reilly itself is just it just they're phenomenal to see live too. So you'd be on a good show if you got to see that.
yeah,
So yeah, it's one of those things, bands that that Pearl Jam is a different kind of band, but there's more I'm sure that I could pick out at some point. Slayer with Hanneman, I was fortunate to see that. Some people can't ever see that kind of stuff, but they would still have a chance to see Slayer. With
Yeah.
half of the original lineup anyway. Does that? I mean, to me, if you got two people, I'd say you're okay. It's some of these bands where you only got one member and they weren't an original member and they were only in the band a few years. That's where I have the issue fighting. Is it a tribute band?
Yeah.
Actually, the band? It's that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Pastor Pussycat's awesome. Yeah, I love Pastor Pussycat. Any bathroom wall and we did a little version, a small version of House of Pain when we were playing covers and stuff. So it's like now Lay's Rockin' is one I'll have to look up. I have heard that name, never heard them. Danger, Danger, criminally underrated. Underrated, man. They had some good stuff. It's like that was people talk about them a lot. They talk about Danger, Danger being kind of lost in the shuffle. I agree. Now, Babylon AD, I very barely remember them. It must not have been the good album or something because I don't remember having any feelings about them either way. Lay's Rock and I'll definitely look up because I've heard that name so many times and just never said, "Oh, I'm gonna go deep dive and stuff." I had to do that with that. That other band we had a while back. It was an '80s band, and I deep dived on them and didn't care for it. I can't.
Oh, I remember which one you're talking about. Yeah. Do we play anything? Yes. We were in a band together for Mikey did
Well,
25 years, and technically the band's still around, but we're kind of on a little hiatus until we can get our drummer situation
yeah,
settled
I
down.
left. I left that band with Skeet in 2018, I think it was. Then I did my other band for about 3 years. So it's been since 2021. It's kind of depressing. I feel my music career is slipping away. It's
Yeah,
closing in on 5 years. I love singing. I love to do that. I love to write songs more than anything. I love playing drums for fun, but it's like, yeah, yeah. We definitely have some musical stuff we can throw in there as being bandmates for all that
yeah,
time. So yeah, and we played originals for most part, but we do a cover in there. So
yeah. Occasionally.
Sepultura. I mean, that's just beast mode. Territory. You're talking, refuse, resist. Sepultura. The original Sepultura back in the day was good. I still like them now, but I mean, I just saw Cavalera not too long ago. And they did Chaos AD, the whole album in its entirety. He did it. It was him and his brother, and their band. They just called it Cavalera. They didn't even call it the Conspiracy. It wasn't Soulfly. It wasn't Sepultura. It was just Igor and the what's the fucking name? I blanked on it. What's his
Yeah,
name? You just talked about him, Ski. The singer, Max. Max. I
yeah. Max. Yeah,
blanked out. I
yeah.
blanked out for a
Yes,
minute.
that's all
Yeah,
right.
they did the Chaos AD album in its entirety. It was fucking mind blowing, dude.
Nice.
It was like I just didn't expect. I didn't know they were doing that. I just thought we were going to play some Sepultura songs, maybe a Soulfly. No, they whip out the Chaos AD album, the entire damn thing. I was
Yeah.
like, oh my god, so good,
Uh
so good.
yeah. The drummer's fine. We had a couple drummers that kind of came and went, moved away, and so yeah, we're just trying to find somebody right now. And then
And
Jen wants to know what about the supergroup Badlands?
that's Jake's band, right? Jakey
Yeah,
Lee.
Jakey.
Yeah, Dreams in the Dark, isn't it? That
Yeah,
bad
that
name?
first out. I need that first album. You cannot find that album. They won't release it. It's kind of lost in the wind. So if you got that CD or album back in the day, you are fucking lucky because you either
I need to
gotta,
find it because I remember
yeah.
that song. That's all I remember. I
Well,
didn't know
yeah,
the
and
name.
he passed. He passed away.
Did he?
Yes,
Man,
he
he had a
did.
great voice. Yeah, it was fantastic. And I mean, that's sad back then. You just hear like songs on the radio. And
Yeah,
if I went out and bought every album or cassette or CD that I wanted to hear more of, I wouldn't have had any money. I had very little.
yeah,
So yeah, I could have. I got a pretty extent. I got 2,200 disc, and that's one I missed. It's like I bought a lot of stuff, but not Badlands. I wish I might have to dig into that, see if I at least get it digitally, because I did
yeah,
love that song. That was a
yeah.
great song.
Uh, Dogma, good deal. Best of luck. You guys need a drummer. Yes, I need a drummer before we've kind of been putting all our energy into doing the shows and the occasional live stream. We did a few live streams last year. I think we did 4. This is our first
Yeah,
one of 2026. So we've kind of been, I've been putting more of my energy into that. I need to really kind of get back into the playing. We're talking about maybe working on a project between the two of us of some of our older stuff, but that's when we get the chance to work on it, we will. But that's what's going on
yeah,
right now. So we're just kind of been doing more of the shows, and we might live stream a little bit more this year.
yeah.
So that's all in the works.
Yeah, I
So
need a band.
yeah,
I need a band. So it's like they need a drummer and I need a band. So I don't play drums. So I play drums for fun, but I'm pretty bad at it. So yeah, it's like, yeah, we miss it. We miss it, but and this is kind of how we fill a void a little bit. We get to talk about stuff, and sometimes we'll go into our own experiences. We'll talk about stuff. We've had a couple episodes where we kind of deep dove into ourselves about
yeah, but for the
drugs.
most part, we kind of we wanted to draw a line and say, okay, we're not going to use our show or the live streams
Yeah,
to really promote our band stuff because it's like we don't want it to be an ad. This is all kind of
right,
organic for us. We want to
right.
cover music, we want to talk about music, so we kind of said, all right, we'll just kind of maybe refer to the band stuff or reference it at times. So it's really that's kind of why we don't put up a big ad and stuff. It's more organic this way. That's all.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But thank you for commenting and being here
Yeah,
for us, man. It's been great having you
yeah.
guys in the
You
chat.
guys are great. I mean, I love the diversity, different kinds of music. We've hit on about I don't know 10 different side genres. It's like
Yeah,
been phenomenal. Everything from hair metal to death metal to Yngwie Malmsteen and all the way around. It's like great. That's kind of what it's all about. It's just the big melting pot of music that we all dig.
yeah,
And
and
I mean, Jen sounds like she's like right up she's in
yeah,
every band she's in. There's only a couple I didn't know. And Lay's Rocket, Tire, that will be on my radar to check out. So yeah,
yeah,
definitely. And even I might even give Babylon AD another shot. I didn't listen to them that much, so I will maybe look and I'm always in search of the hidden gem. I love go back in time. And we went back and checked some bands out from the 80s and stuff that did not pan out. We've also found some great ones that like Junkyard for me in the 90s or whatever it was. But way back, we went to see London. Oh no, London was terrible. Rocks, Rocks,
yeah,
whatever that was
yeah.
terrible. Yeah, it's all good.
Uh, Dogma says you
Mhm.
guys are rocking with wanting to be in a band again. It's such a bitch. It's hard,
Yeah, it is.
but this sesh is awesome. You guys are awesome. Hey, thank you very
I
much.
I appreciate
Uh,
you, man, and you're
spread the
right about
word.
everything.
Spread the word. We do show. We do a show. We put a show out every week. We're in our third season, third year doing it. Every year we try to do a weekly show and put that out. And we pre-record these because we work jobs or some of us are retired.
Yeah,
So
cool, man.
spread the word, get it out there. I love it. I love being able to interact with chat and have somebody that actually listens. It's
Yeah,
real
yeah.
hard when you're a baby site, and trying to get your stuff going. So
It'd be nice to do a couple more of these than last year. Maybe do one every
yeah,
couple months. It's because it's been interesting. Having people to interact with is such it's so for refreshing, I guess you would say.
yes,
We could get comments on an episode, but it's not in real time. So this is kind of in real time. So it's kind of cool. All right. So yeah, this check out this channel, Moshmen channel on Rumble and YouTube every Friday night. Or actually, Rumble's on earlier in the day, but YouTube at 6 o'clock Eastern time. The new episode drops every Friday, and it's always about different things, different topics. We try to move it around, old, classic, new. Uh, we rank stuff. We listen to stuff for the first time, and we trade music that neither one of the other ones heard. So it's one of those cool kind of free flowing things. We don't stick to one like typeset category of bands or anything like
yeah. I mean, the show's called Rock and Roll Roundtable. You can find it on YouTube and on Rumble.
that. But it's under
Uh,
Moshmen. It's under
it's under the
Moshmen channel.
Moshmen is our channel. So
Yes.
go ahead and follow us there. Uh, I do post when we have episodes here on X. So we live stream to X, YouTube, and Rumble for now. And thank you. Thank you, Jen. I
Thank you very
appreciate
much.
it. Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
it's very much appreciated. You guys don't know how much
I'm trying to
music
be
you
humble
guys like that.
here. Thank you very much. So,
Yeah,
and
it's
that's
a
just
big
it.
deal.
We do the show every week. We put out a show. We appreciate the comments. It helps us do other shows too. So all this
Yeah,
stuff is probably giving Mikey ideas, and he's probably wrote notes. Oh, I need to look at this or look at that. So the interaction is the best part, and
yeah,
not when you're doing live like this. I'm running the board and making sure the stream's going and getting information and stuff like that. And Mikey does a lot of the talking for that.
yeah, yeah. I'm the mouth. I'm the mouth of it. So I don't mind. I like talking about music. I love talking about other people's bring me new stuff. And I
Yeah,
she brought me two or three bands just tonight
yeah,
that I can say, hey, I got to go check these guys out because
yeah,
she's liking everything I like up till
yeah,
now. It's like if she digs them, I'm probably going to dig them,
yeah.
And it's like, so yeah, it's very cool for me to get to hear some new stuff too that I might have missed in the hoopla. And it's like,
And
oh, let's see.
thank you, Jen. Hopefully, I can catch you on a space here in the future. Got to see how my schedule is, but I appreciate you coming in tonight. And Dogma, thank you for coming in. Super cool keyboard thinks it knows better than me. Thank you. Awesome. Thank you very much. Well, you're welcome back. And again, maybe we'll try to do some more lives this year because this is awesome. This is what I'm stoked about.
Yeah,
Actually getting people to come in.
this is what it's about, just having a good conversation with people about the greatest thing ever invented, which we know is music. And it's like whatever kind of music it is, I'll talk about anything. But yeah, I've just been one of the better times, man. It
Yeah.
has been a really fun show, and I can't stress enough to you both how appreciative I am, and Skeeter is too as well. That you're following, you're adding stuff to the conversation, giving us ideas, and we hope to see you soon. If not on a live stream, hopefully you'll check out an episode, drop a comment, and let us know you were there. You know, whatever topic might catch your eye, just spread the word if you can, please. We'd love to
Yeah.
have more people in here chatting. It'd be fantastic.
And you can follow Mikey under Mosh and Mikey on X, or you can follow
Yeah,
me under the XX Remy 300XX on X
yeah,
as well. And we've got
absolutely.
Moshmen Media on Facebook. If you're still on Facebook,
Yeah, a lot of people aren't, but I'm still there. I still have a page anyway. So yeah,
Mikey runs the stuff for TikTok because I will not TikTok.
I don't. Well, we don't. I just have
That's
my
your
own
fucking
personal
department.
one. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't
So
have. I don't have a Moshmen TikTok, so we're okay.
okay. Well, thanks for coming in tonight, guys. I really appreciate it. You want to wrap it up for tonight, Mikey? We're almost at the 2 hour
Yeah,
mark. And you got anything
yeah.
else you want to talk about?
Close. No, I mean, only other thing I had was Chinese spyware.
Yeah. Thank you. Yes. 100%.
But yeah, no, I got other stuff I don't need to talk about tonight. It was this filler material, so yeah, we'll maybe talk about it next time. So
Okay.
it's
All
just
right.
time.
So thank you for joining us tonight. Uh, X, YouTube, Rumble. Thanks for coming. Have a good night, Dogma.
Thank
Have a
you.
good one. And we're going to wrap it up. So
All right.
this is Skeet.
I am Mosh and Mikey.
See ya!
Peace out.